Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so finally got some things here. Got a little bit of bread, got some lettuce, got some rice, little stuff like that. Not too much of it. I can come back and buy the bulk aspect of it on Tuesday, 2 days from now. But I just want to make sure I had enough to get my meal going. So the essentials, the most basic essentials. It's crazy how fast I ran through 10 pounds of rice. 10 pounds of rice. I ate 10 pounds of rice in a matter of, I think about 11 days. It's like something like that, like 11 days maybe. Like I bought that 10 pounder. I don't think it's been that long. Lugged that thing home only to turn around and eat it again, man. Some of those meals were a little too much rice put in there. But I bought some of their rice this time, some basmati rice, which is pretty solid. It smells a little different, but it tastes pretty good. It's a little bland on the taste, but I kind of liked it. It was a little lighter than the rice that I was just eating there. And I like light. Light is good. Had to get my bread. I can't do my meal without my bread. I got enough. Almost everything else though, so lettuce was necessary. And lettuce is cheap. They only have lettuce. It's like $1.99 or something like that. So I guess that's okay for romaine lettuce. But I tell y'all, man, eating healthy is the only way for me to go, man. I listen to people and I was talking to a guy in the lobby while I was waiting on the lady to process the hotel for me. And he was telling me he had some back surgery, and he told me he don't eat very well because he don't have time to, figure it out. He can't control the environment, so he can't really, he has to eat snacks and stuff like that. I'm very fortunate to have my rice cooker, man. I'm very fortunate to have my rice cooker and my habits, and to be wired to be somebody who can eat the same thing for 2-3 years straight. No exaggeration. Same thing. That's exactly how I operate. And because I operate that way, I get to not really worry too much about a lot of things that people worry about in regards to making the meals different and all of this different stuff. And that's another thing about me, like, because I'm like that, I don't know who can be able to live with me. Like, when you really want to share your life with somebody, I eat the same thing every day. I don't even eat to enjoy meals. I eat to be healthy, like literally. So, like, what I eat is only marginally tasty to me because I don't put no seasoning on my rice. You know what I mean? I just do what I do in the way that I do it. And it works for me, that kind of thing. So, I don't know who would be able to put up with that. And I honestly don't care, really, to be honest with you. I do me. And that's how I operate. And, it's by myself, so it works that way. And I get to work out and feel good about my body because of that. It's where a lot of people put in a lot of different things in their body, and their body react different to it each time and all this. I don't go that route. I eat the healthy route, man. So that's how we do it. And try to put some ears on this thing, man, while the stress is going on. Keep bad stuff out of my nutrition. While I'm going through the difficulties of my life, ain't putting nothing on my body but healthy stuff. Working out, all this, man. So I feel good, man. I feel really good. I'm kind of on the tail end of stress, I guess is what I'm telling you. When you've been stressing for the last 18 hours about whether or not you're going to get a hotel, whether or not this, that, and the third was going to work out. Once you start settling in, it's like, okay, I still have some moderate stress because I don't have my money for the next week's rent or whatever, but I was able to get this one for a little cheaper. So a little bit of what I was stressed about actually worked out even better than it was supposed to. So it's like a lot of stuff. It's like, I don't know if I'm stressed or not, but I do know I'm blessed. That's not a question. So, happy Sunday to everybody. Looking forward to my family's Bible study later on tonight at 4:30. Of course, it's football Sunday, so all my fantasy teams are set. All 50 of them, whatever it is. I found a way to set all of them. And, just feeling good about what's within my control being taken care of the right way. A lot of times, stuff that's outside of our control, we put so much of an emphasis on it to get done right. A lot of times we psych ourselves into mistakes. And so for me, it's just about finding that balance. Say God first. God first. That base that we talk about of appreciation that I discovered just a week and a half ago. I don't need to be grateful for nothing specific, just grateful that God is giving. He is here to give. and everything great comes from that. So it's like, you had that type of trust, or you're establishing that type of faith in your life, then it's like, man, it's not a whole lot to keep me down, because I got the formula to handle the worst stress there is, you know? And that's kind of how I feel. It's like day 7 of having the formula to handle any damn thing. So all the stuff I was worried about last week and stressing about as I was walking down the street, telling y'all how I was this and that in regards to my circumstances personally, it's like, man, a lot of that stuff, I just started realizing, man, I'm grateful. Grateful. And because I'm grateful, now I get to move forward looking for other solutions that come from a better mindset. Look for other ways of moving that are not attached to my sadness. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta be down about this person don't want to talk to me. That person is controlled by the Lord if they're doing things correctly, and they'll come around when they're supposed to. If not, then they don't need to be around me anyway. So either way, them being gone is a blessing, because I get to learn from it. I get to strengthen myself through their absence. I get to know what's important versus what is not. I get to put myself first and focus on God in regards to my own mental, and focusing away from what they talking about or not talking about, and focusing in on how good I can feel in their absence. That's how it has to be. That's the only thing that people leave you with when they leave your life. So I don't want the resentment that comes with some of the thoughts I was thinking. I don't want to care about what she would otherwise do that would hurt my feelings, because I don't want my feelings to be attached to what she do anymore. And that's how it has to be when you have to leave somebody's life or they have to leave yours. You just got to work on those things. And if you know you did good, God's proud of you, then it ain't a whole lot that the enemy can do, whether he be living in them by way of making you feel bad about holding them accountable, or make you feel as if you never did something good in their life. Whatever the case may be, you don't have to hold those thoughts when you know what you're grateful for, and that grateful nature comes from a belief that God exists, and you're thankful for that. And then from there, he'll give you a good life, a peaceful afterlife. You don't have to have everything right like religion tells you do. You just gotta have that basic formula in your heart when you wake up in the morning before dealing with the world itself. I take that as confirmation. So that's what it is, man. Deal with your gratefulness first, and everything that would otherwise push people away or bring the wrong people towards you will start to slowly but surely go away, because it ain't gonna have no room for this in that space where you are at with that grateful energy. Ain't gonna have no room in that space where you love not only yourself but a God above you, who will show you how to place your love properly and will promise you a better path than what you were otherwise on in their life. So that's what I'm welcoming. Put me on a better path. I've seen you get people out of my life that I thought I could never let go of. I've seen you pull me away from people that I thought I could never let go of. I've seen you work in ways as of late that felt like, everything was about to go completely left several different ways, and you made it go the right way each and every way. And why was that? It's because I believed in you to the level I did. And the only thing that came from that is me believing in you even more. And so that's what it is. It's like I didn't have the greatest level of faith when all that was going on. My level was just where it was. It's only growing from here. So that's what I want people to understand. You don't have to have it all together. It's a journey. It's a training session. If you're open to it, if you're not open to it, then you're just going to get kicked around by life and end up being weaponized to kick others around by life. That's it. And your pain and your selfishness and your sin and your battles are going to end up being hard for other people to deal with that you otherwise would be wise to love. You're going to push away every good person. You're going to get around everything that's meant to make you worse. And your lifeline is going to be based on how much damage you can do to goodness. That's what a lot of people need to understand, man. So they got to understand, if you ain't being used by the Creator, you probably used by either man or the enemy. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. And so we got to give God a little more the credit for what he can accomplish when he's trying to teach us difficult lessons by way of other people's mistakes in our lives. Because a lot of times people will make mistakes, make you feel worse about your life if you let them. But at the end of the day, you can take what it is that they've done or what it is that they're trying to do and push it in a direction that works for you getting closer to the Creator, or getting closer to who you pray to. And that's really what I believe works, regardless of how those blessings come, whether he comes down from a cloud and drops something on our head like manna from heaven, or if he just manipulates our mind a little bit so we feel a little better, change our mood a little bit. It can still be the same glory and blessing due for the same appreciation that ultimately will give us that peace that ultimately we can't find when we're complaining. That he exists is good enough to be thankful for. I believe that. And so, as we continue to go forward in these circumstances that aren't so good, learning these lessons that aren't so fun to learn, I continue to find myself in a space where I know that I'm training for something. No different than any other, school situation or boot camp or, whatever it would be. This is training mode for the real thing. Once you start going through the real thing, you'll be glad you went through all this. You'll be glad you learned all of these things. So that's what I believe, man. That's what I'm telling y'all. I hope everybody's taking it for what it's worth. Far from perfect. I'm far from where I want to be. But I'm not far from who can get me there, And a lot of times we'll be wanting more from others when you should be looking at God saying, what do you want to put in them to give to me? What do you want to put in them that I can use to be better? Sometimes it ain't what you think. Sometimes it's them pushing you away. Sometimes it's them doing a hard thing for you to deal with. But that's not me. That's not any less than the love that God has for you. Sometimes we want life to be easy. It ain't gonna make us no better. It ain't gonna make us respect difficulties more so rather. You still gonna have a difficult time when the real thing comes around and you ain't been trained. You know what I mean? So let them difficulties come into your life if they have to. Let those circumstances, welcome those circumstances with gratefulness for the betterment of your own self. That's what I have to say, man. And a lot of this is said in scripture, in various books. A lot of this is said in your religion, this and that, but this ain't about no religion. Because what if I didn't get no religion? What if God never gave me a religion? What if the circumstances I'm in didn't require me knowing for certain that God exists? Just having to believe. Maybe you don't have a church home. I don't. Maybe you don't have a family that's giving you Bible study lessons every week like I do. Maybe you just got to figure this stuff out because you heard me say it and that's it. That may be all you need. That may be all that's meant for you. But the key is to know what works. And what works is believing that not everything that's bad to you is bad for you. Not everything that's good to you is good for you. And a lot of times we want to fight those things because we don't understand that. We want life to be easy. When you're about to go through something so damn hard, you need to be prepared for it. How are you supposed to be prepared for it? And that's what we ask the Lord to do, prepare us through the difficulties we go through, share with us an understanding of how to view it properly so that we're not shunning things that are meant for our betterment and not welcoming things that are meant for our worsening. BDF 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.